In the day's other headlines, the White House says Labor Secretary Lori Chavez-DeRemer is leaving her post. Communications Director Stephen Chung announced her departure on social media, saying she's done, quote, a phenomenal job and that she's taking a position in the private sector. Chung added that her deputy, Keith Sonderling, will take over as acting secretary. Chavez-DeRemer had been under fire for months amid allegations that she abused her position. That included allegations of an affair involving a subordinate and drinking alcohol on the job. She's denied any wrongdoing. Chavez-DeRemer is the third Trump cabinet member to leave after he fired Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem in March and ousted Attorney General Pam Bondi earlier this month. Kash Patel filed a $250 million defamation lawsuit today against The Atlantic magazine over a story published on Friday titled "The FBI Director is MIA." It alleges, quote, episodes of excessive drinking and unexplained absences by Patel. His suit calls the article, quote, a sweeping, malicious, and defamatory hit piece designed to destroy Director Patel's reputation and drive him from office. Both the Justice Department and the White House have denied the story's claims. In response, a spokesperson for The Atlantic says it stands by its reporting, calling Patel's lawsuit meritless. Today marked the first day that businesses can submit refund requests for tariffs paid before the Supreme Court ruled them unconstitutional 2 months ago. The website, run by U.S. Customs and Border Protection, allows the more than 330,000 importers who paid about $166 billion in tariffs to file for refunds with interest. Approved refunds will take 60 to 90 days to be issued. But individual consumers who paid higher prices because of tariffs do not qualify to get their money back. Police in North Carolina say at least 2 people were shot and killed this morning in Winston-Salem when several juveniles agreed to meet in a park to fight. A total of 7 people were shot, with injuries ranging from minor to critical. A 16-year-old and a 17-year-old were killed. Authorities say they're still trying to determine each person's role in the incident. The police chief lamented yet another episode of gun violence among young people.
First, I need to acknowledge the fear and frustration that our community must be experiencing right now. Firearms are the #1 killer of kids 1 to 17 in our nation now. It's also our 98th mass shooting in our country. So I share that fear and that frustration.
A local middle school near the park briefly went into lockdown after the shooting. All students were later reported safe. The House Ethics Committee issued a rare statement today defending its handling of recent sexual harassment cases involving members of Congress. The committee, quote, strongly encouraged any victims of sexual misconduct by a House member or staffer to come forward. The statement comes after the recent resignations of Democrat Eric Swalwell and Republican Tony Gonzalez and questions about how Congress investigates its own members. The House Ethics Committee largely operates behind closed doors and says little about its work. In Japan, officials are warning of a possible megaquake that could hit the country's northeastern coast in the coming week. That follows a 7.7 magnitude earthquake felt hundreds of miles away in Tokyo, striking the region earlier today. Sirens blared in one coastal area, followed by tsunami warnings that were later downgraded. But officials say the threat of further quakes remains. Japan's prime minister urged local residents to take precautions.
In response to the aftershock advisory, which is expected to remain in effect for about a week, please ensure you are prepared to evacuate immediately and always carry your emergency supplies with you.
Today's advisory was the second such warning for the region in recent months. In the meantime, authorities are still assessing the damage from today's shocks. At least 2 people were injured and some rail service was temporarily suspended. The head of Apple, Tim Cook, is stepping down as CEO but staying on as executive chairman. John Ternus, Apple's hardware boss, will take over as CEO in September. It's Apple's first CEO change since 2011, when Cook took over from founder Steve Jobs. In the meantime, on Wall Street today, stocks cooled off a bit after their recent record-setting rally. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost less than 5 points, so basically flat. The Nasdaq slipped about 60 points to start the week. The S&P 500 gave back about 0.25%. And a pair of defending champions won the Boston Marathon today. On the men's side, John Korir of Kenya finished in 2 hours, 1 minute and 52 seconds, breaking the course record and running the 5th fastest marathon of all time. And Sharon Lokedi, also of Kenya, won the women's race in just under 2 hours and 19 minutes. In the meantime, in China, it wasn't a human, but a humanoid setting the pace. This android from smartphone brand Honor set a new world record for a half marathon, finishing in 50 minutes and 26 seconds. That is 7 minutes faster than the human record and also way better than my all-time best. Still to come on the News Hour, the national redistricting fight comes to Virginia. Tamara Keith and Amy Walter break down the latest political headlines and why some cities are turning their streetlights red.
This is the PBS News Hour from the David M. Rubenstein studio at WETA in Washington, headquarters of PBS News.
Support journalism you trust. Support PBS News. Donate now, or even better, start a monthly contribution today.